So we've got this Clayface movie coming out later this year in 2026, and already it's not off to a great start. DCU Clayface labelled a box office question mark, and Supergirl completely ignored. So let's just talk about Clayface here and the DCU slate for 2026 in general, because it's not looking great. It's not looking great, to be honest. So, Warner Brothers' 2026 DCU slate continues to look shaky, following Puck News labelling Supergirl and Clayface as red flags for the studio. Variety is now echoing that concern, this time naming Clayface one of 2026's biggest question marks in its box office preview. And in a major signal of studio confidence, or lack thereof, Supergirl isn't even listed, which I think is brilliant. That they've already got such little faith in Supergirl that they're not even listing it. I think that's pretty telling. I think that's pretty telling of DC's faith in Supergirl. They know what's going to happen with Supergirl. It's obvious how that's going to go, how that's going to play out. In Variety's 2026 box office forecast, Clayface lands in the question marks section, alongside Marvel's Thunderbolts and Brave New World from this past year, films wildly seen as risky or low excitement bets. Here's what they had to say about Clayface. Has anyone on this planet or any other ever heard of Clayface? James Gunn and Peter Safran may have revived the DCU with Superman, but not every comic book character is worthy of the big screen treatment. Ouch. Yes, that is definitely a big ouch. I mean, I sort of know who Clayface is, and I know of about 3 people who also sort of know who Clayface is. I mean, let's put it this way. He's not a mainstream character. I mean, let's put it this way. There's about, if you needed to make a DC superhero movie / supervillain movie, and you were looking for your main character who had marketability, was relatively mainstream, and had a fan base of more than a dozen, had a fan base bigger than more than 10 people. There's about a million or so characters in the DC universe that you could have picked before Clayface. I mean, I think a fucking Nightwing movie would do better, have a better shot than Clayface. I think you could market a Nightwing movie better than Clayface. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Or like having another go at Green Lantern, giving us a proper Green Lantern movie. You know, I mean, how many how many times have they done Batman now? How many times have they done Superman? How many times have they done Spider-Man? You know, each of those characters have had like 2, 3, 4 reboots, and they've never like tried to do Green Lantern again. It's crazy. It's like over at Marvel, how like there's only been, how in the MCU there was only ever one Hulk movie. There's like a really shitty Hulk movie from like 1997 or something. And then there was one MCU Hulk movie, and then there was rumours of another Hulk movie happening in like 2018. They were going to do like a World War Hulk movie, and then it just got like merged into Ragnarok, and then we just got Thor, Ragnarok, X, World War Hulk. It's mental, man. There's like a million other characters that they could have chosen that are more marketable and have a bigger fan base than Clayface, but there we go. While Variety does give the film credit for standing apart tonally from family-friendly superhero fare, describing it as a body horror film about a disfigured actor who transforms himself into living clay, the overall tone is sceptical. Even more telling, Supergirl is completely absent from Variety's 2026 outlook, not even listed in the entire article, which also includes categories such as sure things and safe bets. That aligns perfectly with the previous reporting that Warner Brothers isn't treating Supergirl as a major release. Internally, both Supergirl and Clayface are being described as low priority, low expectation projects, with little confidence they'll move the needle for the DCU. Holy shit. If Variety's ignoring a supposed tentpole DC film altogether, that says a lot about what the studio is signalling behind the scenes. No, but it's definitely not gonna do anything. No needles are going to be moved by Supergirl or by Clayface. These movies are going to do nothing whatsoever. They're going to do nothing for the DCU. They're going to do nothing for James Gunn. They're not going to move anything forward whatsoever. And there's going to be no impact made whatsoever either. I said before in a previous video, I think Supergirl will do about the same as Superman from earlier this year. I think it will do about the same as Superman. It might end up doing slightly less than Superman, because Supergirl is still very marketable, very mainstream. Everyone knows Superman and everyone knows Supergirl as well. That's just how it is. And obviously, it's fucking obvious who Supergirl is, isn't it? Supergirl, Superman, Supergirl. It's fucking obvious, even if you're a complete fucking moron. You see a poster for Supergirl, you instantly go, Superman, Supergirl, I think, and then you're going to go see it, aren't you? You're going to go see it. So I think Supergirl will probably end up doing about the same as Superman. But for Clayface, I don't know, to be honest. It's not looking great for Clayface at the moment. I mean, I'm interested in Clayface because I always like the idea of superhero movies within the horror genre. That's an idea that interests me a lot. I think that's a very interesting idea. Taking superheroes or supervillains and then throwing them into the horror genre. I think that has a lot of potential. A lot could be done with that. Clayface is still a mystery, and that's the problem. Despite being scheduled for a September 11th, 2026 release, there's still no trailer and no hype for Clayface. Fans aren't thinking about it, the general public has no idea it exists, obviously, and even hardcore DC followers are unsure how it fits into the larger DCU. Where is Batman? That's the question. If Gunn's Superman couldn't bring back mainstream audiences, what hope does Clayface have? Well, if Superman, literally the most well-known, most marketable, most highest selling superhero of all time. No, definitely the highest selling superhero IP of all time. If you count the 100 years of comic books that he's had. If the most famous, highest grossing superhero of all time couldn't win back general audiences, then, ladies and gentlemen, Clayface ain't gonna do it either. And that's just the reality. Like I said, I'm interested in this movie, especially if they can actually execute the horror aspects, the horror elements. If they can actually pull that off properly, then I'd be very interested to go see this movie. And I mean, it could end up being an unexpected hit. I mean, that does happen. It could end up being like a Deadpool scenario. Like nobody thought Deadpool was going to do anything, especially because it was Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and the only superhero movie he had done was Green Lantern, 10, 15 years before that, and that fucking tanked in all areas. I mean, there's tanking, and then there is tanking to the level that Green Lantern tanked. Okay. It was just fucking dreadful. And obviously, because Ryan Reynolds was playing Deadpool, everybody was like, this is not going to happen. This is a suicide. This is a suicide mission right here. I mean, the Titanic's already hit the iceberg. That's basically what everyone was thinking. And then Deadpool ended up making what did Deadpool end up making? Like $700, $800 million or something. And then obviously Deadpool and Wolverine, that made $1 billion. So, it's crazy, man. It's crazy what can happen. It's crazy what can happen when you've got a good script and good actors, and you've got all the pieces. You've got all the pieces together, and you've got actual talent. Actual talent on board. It's crazy what can happen. I mean, I have no idea who's attached to this. I don't think we know who's playing Clayface. We don't know who's directing. We don't know who's writing. I mean, we might know who's playing Clayface. Yeah, we might have who's playing Clayface, actually. I haven't personally seen that yet, but we might know who's playing Clayface. And that's the thing, it is scheduled for September, which is not that far away. I mean, I'm currently recording this January 10th, technically January 11th, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So we've got 6 months? Six or 7 months until September, is that right? February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 8 months. We've got 8 months until Clayface comes out. And we've got no trailer. We've got no on set. images, no behind the scenes footage. I don't think we know who's playing Clayface. We don't have any names attached. So that's fucking cool. That's fucking wicked, that. So yeah, that's the state that Clayface is currently in. I mean, yeah, who even cares about this movie? Who even knows that this movie is even happening? That's the thing. I think like 5 people know that this movie's happening. Me and 4 other people know that this movie's happening. And I think I'm probably the only one who's mildly interested in this movie. I'm solely interested in it because I love horror, and there's a chance that this ends up being a full-on horror movie. That's the only reason I'm interested in it. So, it's not looking great, but hey, it might turn around. It might turn around. You never know. That's all I wanted to cover, so yeah, see you later.